Our wants and desires for The Sims 5 have been a topic of discussion pretty much since The Sims 4 released. The Sims 4 has been out for just over 10 years as of the day I'm recording this, and in those 10 years we've been given 16 expansion packs, 12 game packs, 20 stuff packs, and 31 kits, with even more being planned to release very soon. The content the Sims team has fed us with this game has also been the subject of much controversy and discourse within the community, the split between old-time players who can't stand the capitalistic nature of the franchise, as well as the arguably watered-down content in The Sims 4, and the newer Simmers who have no other experience to compare it to, is hard to avoid. However, with a new Sims game on the horizon, we could maybe, just maybe, see our very much divided community come together. That is a big hope and would of course require for The Sims 5 or Project Renee to be a really good game. The truth is that everyone has their own wishes for The Sims 5 and what they think would make it a fun game to play. Before getting into what I think we need and should expect in The Sims 5, it is important for us to understand what has already officially been revealed about Project Renee. We know that Project Renee is the chosen project name for the next Sims title as a means to symbolize a rebirth or a renaissance of the franchise. We've seen snippets of apartments from playtests, which is a new feature for a Sims base game. There have also been hints of the ability to play the game on different platforms such as phones and other devices like that. That's just a few of the small details that we know about the game, as the aesthetics and graphics shown from the prototypes that we've been shown are most likely going to be different at launch. From that, there's a lot of room for us to fit in our own expectations for The Sims 5, and I must say I have a lot of them. The Sims is a simulation game, and we should be able to simulate many different ways of life in both realistic and very unrealistic styles. So drawing from older Sims games, The Sims 4, other more modern games, and my own abstract wishes, here are some core features that I think we need in The Sims 5. Customization. Right off the bat, we need all of the skin tones, all of the eye colors, all of the hair colors. It is currently 2024 and the game will probably release, I expect, around 2026 to 2028, hopefully, or it could be later, God forbid. So we definitely need a color wheel. I don't think that I'm alone when I say how much we need and deserve that at the very least. Having a color wheel at launch would avoid a repeat of the 6 years in The Sims 4 where we only had like 4 dark skin tones. And even to this day, I often feel as though I need custom skin tones to have more variation because the quality in the base game is just not there for me. So hopefully they've been working on that for this game. I mean, the fact that we had it in The Sims 3 from 2009 and they chose to completely discard that feature is crazy to me, but whatever. On top of that, I feel like it's important to have more hair diversity at launch. Lots of textures and length options are very important to me. I don't want 20 of the same 2012 bob hairstyle. We should definitely have some high quality, long, short, curly, wavy, and afro textured hairs from the beginning, not 8 years after release, thank you. And the same goes for important features like medical wearables, vitiligo, more body scars, and more acne options. Now, when it comes to sliders, I really like how The Sims 4 handles things. I know some people really enjoy the old school sliders from The Sims 3, but I personally would like The Sims 4 sliders, but with an increased variation for weight and height. That would be really cool, and as well as more variation for the facial features with the sliders. Having a height slider would be pretty cool if they took the time to adjust the animations in game. I mean, after close to 25 years of The Sims being out, I hope that height would be something considered for Create a Sim in the next game. I love casts, so I really hope for those core features in the base game, along with well done, cute clothes to make our Sims look amazing and feel unique. Although I always will be a CC user, I don't think that we should be getting half-assed outfits in the base game for The Sims 5, so I also think we need and deserve some top-tier clothes for all genders and ages. And speaking of all genders, The Sims 5 better have a more polished approach to gender than The Sims 4. Being able to create trans Sims without clothing and genetics restrictions would be nice, and the same for non-binary and gender fluid Sims. That's another thing that I'm hoping for and I think that we really need. Build mode. Now guys, I'm not going to lie, I'm not a builder by any means. It really is not my strong suit or area of expertise. I think that maintaining and expanding upon what we were given in The Sims 4 is a safe but smart thing to wish for, because from what I hear from builders, The Sims 4 definitely excels when it comes to build and buy. Keeping the gallery in the next game and perhaps making it more user-friendly would be cool too, and perhaps some new features to improve the usability and foster a sense of community. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if the gallery was more interactive in the next game? Like maybe there could be weekly or monthly competitions for builds and Create a Sim, things like that. But overall, coming from someone who is more dependent on the gallery and not a builder, I want lots and lots of options in this mode as well, items that are not half-assed and very well done, and just a mode that allows us to create a wide array of builds. Gameplay. Gameplay, the most trivial part of this video. As I said at the beginning, every simmer has their own vision for what The Sims 5 should be like in live mode or live mode, however you say. I say live mode, I think. But live mode makes more sense, but I say live mode. Now for me, I personally want to see more elements of The Sims 2 return. Things like wants and fears, because whatever we got in The Sims 4 a couple of years ago was something completely different. I want to see chemistry, hobbies. I want my Sims to actually feel like people again who are maybe set in their own unique ways of life, not empty vessels that I'm supposed to direct around like we're on a movie set. I want the game to move away from The Sims 4 style and move closer to the more quirky and wild style of The Sims 2 and The Sims 3. I want chaos, I want unexpectedness, I want all of the craziness. When it comes to open worlds, I think that feature could be really cool. And I really don't think it's impossible for them to optimize an open world of some sort for lower end PCs. I think that on their end it would require a lot more work, but I think if they added an open world, the gameplay would feel more lively and interactive. Also on the topic of The Sims 3, I also really preferred how in The Sims 3 my Sims lived in one town and were kind of confined to that town. I would really like if they made the world system more similar to that rather than what we have currently in The Sims 4. Being able to wake up in Mount Komorebi, have breakfast in Batu, go for lunch in Solani, and then have dinner in Willow Creek is not very immersive to me. And also going back to the older games, I would also like if we had the create a world feature return. I think they could do a lot of cool things with that, and I think that that would be something that would keep people engaged in the game. And yeah, it's just something we've been missing for a long time. Focusing more on the Sims themselves, I'm unsure of whether I feel like the emotion system from The Sims 4 is necessary or not. I'm sure many people would really miss it if it were absent in the next game, but for me, there are so many inconsistencies with the emotions in The Sims 4 that make me feel as if I don't really need them in the next game. I feel like not having that emotional label over my Sims all the time would kind of give me the creative freedom to decide how my Sim feels in a specific situation. Like if my Sim's partner just died, I wouldn't expect my Sim to all of a sudden be happy because she likes the furniture in her living room. I personally would prefer if we had the moodlets from The Sims 3 without The Sims 4 emotional label, because it still takes into account that your Sims have feelings and like things, dislike things, but it doesn't make it like this big bright color and all about how they feel, even though that's not really how you want them to feel. I would also really like for them to expand on active careers more, like maybe every career could have an active career option as well as a rabbit hole option, because I know that some people really enjoy that and really enjoy the active career gameplay and being more engaged. And although I'm a player who does prefer rabbit holes, I do think that the team putting in the effort to give us more interactive careers would kind of show that they care, and it would just be more fun to play overall, because say one day I do want to play an active career, it would be nice to have the option. And for the last little parts of The Sims 5 gameplay, I really want more little things to do around towns. As I just said, I am more of a rabbit hole player, so I would be happy if they were rabbit holes, but just something more to do. I don't want empty worlds filled with loads of decorations and props. I want supermarkets, restaurants, cafes, libraries, malls, town halls, all those things that were in The Sims 2 and The Sims 3, because I really like how The Sims 3 did that stuff. So yeah, I think we definitely need those back. And I feel like having a rabbit hole, like even if you're just like playing a game, say you had a really intense situation with your Sim, you could just take a little breather for yourself, send your Sim to the supermarket, you can just get them to get ingredients, or they could go on a date to a restaurant, but you don't have to supervise every single little interaction. Having that would be so much better than just them walking around idly down the street with nothing to do. And that would also kind of require for cars to come back, especially with the open world possibly being there. And I think all of us have been missing cars since they've not been in a Sims game for like 10 plus years. So I would also really like for cars to return too. So to outline the gameplay related things that I think we need open neighborhoods / worlds, a reworked emotional system, more lifestyle gameplay, more nostalgic quirky features from the older Sims games, more relationship types, which isn't something that I really talked about, but I feel like that's something that we really need and should just be in the game. The world creation tool, more exciting unexpected scenarios in the world, better towns that are more like the Sims 2 and Sims 3 towns, and more engaging active careers. New things. Now to consider the more out-of-the-box concepts for the next Sims game. Since the reveal of Project Renee in 2022 and even years before that, the idea of online and multiplayer gameplay has been teased to us, kind of hinted at us, and honestly, although I'm not fully sure how I feel about a multiplayer Sims experience, I do think that it is kind of unavoidable considering the world that we're in right now and the gaming world we're in. I also do recognize that multiplayer gameplay would be attractive to a lot of people, especially players who don't normally play The Sims that much. And upon reflection, I would like if there was a multiplayer option, but only if it is separate and comes second to the single player experience. I think it could be really fun, and I do 100% think that EA is going to give us this in The Sims 5. My main concern is that they put a lot of energy into the multiplayer modes and not as much into the core mechanics of the game and the things that longtime players have been asking for years. I really hope that we don't get more watered down content in the next game, and I think that concern bleeds into all of my feelings for the potential new features that could come with The Sims 5. I don't want the team to lose sight of what the players really want and deserve, so those are some of the key things that I think we need in The Sims 5. And be sure to let me know what you guys want for The Sims 5 in the comments. Do you agree with me? Did I miss some things out that you were thinking about? I probably did, but I hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless. Leave a like and check out my socials, which are in the description. And as always, I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I will see you very soon with another Sims 4 video. Bye!